Welcome back, everyone, to another segment of the MCR. Mac and me. My name's TJ. And in this segment, how can we not talk about all the what I'm referring to as the campus chaos? Uh, Allegedly, and I'm going to say the word allegedly, in support of Hamas and the Palestinians. And I know that's what they're saying, but I'm gonna I'm gonna mention an ulterior motive or agenda further into the segment. But my gosh, this has been going on for what 2 weeks now it seems, or
Right.
so, well over a week, and it took over a week before President Biden got on the tube and spoke for what 3 minutes and 17 seconds or something. I think they said.
Hmm.
Uh, you know, you talk about leading from behind to use
Yeah.
an Obama term. You
Yeah.
know, but anyways, uh, and I would it appears to have started in the New England. What do you call it? The Ivy Leagues or whatever.
Right. Yeah. Right.
It seems that's where it really started, but then it expanded to other places. UCLA, uh, and I'll just get to the quick of it on this point. If it occurred in an area or a state controlled by Democrats, they were given a free pass. But if it occurred in a state like Florida or Texas, the hammer came down, and it came down fast. North Carolina too, and I'm going to mention later on in the segment here. I'm going to mention a couple different fraternities at University of North Carolina that warrant congratulations, recognition, and whatnot. But supposedly this is all in protest of Israel attacking Hamas and free Palestine from the river to the sea. Palestine must be free. Blah 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 blah. You know, and I just want to really quickly, right off the bat, remind everyone what brought us to this point, October 7th of last year, when I want to say somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,400 Israelis were murdered, tortured, uh, and I guess we have to choose our words carefully. So we'll use uh, we can't, don't dare to use the R word. So so we got to say SA. And if you're familiar with YouTube lingo, I think you know what SA is all about. It involves an assault of a sort, okay? And, baking babies in ovens and all sorts of horrible things. And so, Israel responds, and so now you got these ill-mannered brats having tantrums. All right, yeah, I'll keep rambling. Thoughts so far, Mac?
That's exactly what they are. They're idiots in search of a cause. They love victims. Even when there clearly is a victim, they choose the other victim in this case. And what I find most interesting, if they would stop and listen to what their anti-Jewish sentiment, it gets down to this: all they're doing is mimicking neo-Nazis.
Yeah. Uh, they under the guise of being pro Hamas or pro Palestine or Palestinian or however they want to say it, uh, at I want to say Columbia, but I'm not entirely certain. One protester was being interviewed, and the person being interviewed, and it looked like a white or light skinned female, blurted out, "I hate white people." So
Yeah.
and
Kind of
then
goes
I
to what I
heard
just said. Yeah.
and then I heard someone else make the accusation that Israelis, uh, it is all about an anti-white agenda because Israelis enjoy the white privilege, whereas the Arab ethnicity, well, they're the true people of color that's being oppressed here.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, these people have no lows whatsoever. Nothing's beyond the pale with these people.
Well, they don't even know what the hell they're talking about.
And I read a news report. Half of the people arrested at Columbia weren't even students. And then that just
tells you that they're probably of the George Soros family ilk. They get bussed in. They have bricks dropped off for them so they can riot with them. And, you know, we like to talk about a lot about insurrections and riots in this country. Why is this never addressed or even recognized?
Yeah. Did you hear about the UCLA protesters having a list of demands?
Yeah.
They want food, water. I mean, can you even make this up?
Well, I know what I'd like to deliver to them: a swift kick in the ass. What I'd really like to see happen on these universities is all the public money go away.
Oh yeah, yeah. And what we got here is a catastrophic breakdown of societal norms. I mean, heck, you could say it begins with parenting, allowing them to grow up and turn into spoiled, pampered brats.
Well, they
never
got
being
they got
told
the trophy for finishing last in soccer. That's one of the things that did this.
And then they go to these expensive colleges and most likely everything's paid for, and the professors kind of cater to their little special whims and needs, and it's just and so here we are with protesters issuing demands because they're entitled to basic human needs also. I couldn't even believe. I'm telling you, I saw an interview where this one female as much said that, and it seems to be more females than males. But
well, I'm going to tell you, anytime you find the source of this trouble, women are right in the fucking middle of it.
Yeah, I'm compelled to mention a couple Greek fraternities at the University of North Carolina. Did you hear about what happened there, Mac?
No.
All right, the protesters pulled down the U.S. flag, and the university was actually taking a stand against the protesters, as far as trying to address the situation. They put the U.S. flag back up. The protesters attempt to take it down a second time, and a couple Greek fraternities move in and pull security on the U.S. flag and begin to sing the national anthem. These fraternities are Alpha Epsilon Pi and Pi Kappa Phi, not to be confused with I felt a thigh, but had to throw that in there.
Yeah, I was wondering how many times you rehearsed that line.
Yeah, but Alpha Epsilon Pi and Pi Kappa Phi. These guys came to the rescue, and Mac, there's a guy you're probably not all too familiar with him. He goes by the name of John Rich. He's a country music singer, and he's back in the day there was a duo, Big and Rich. So and John Rich kind of went out on his own. Well, when he heard about these Greek fraternities, he wants to do a private concert for these guys. He wants to call it Flagstock, okay? And he actually contacted Dan Bongino and asked Dan Bongino if Dan would be available to do his podcast and do a live radio show from the event. All this to basically to support these fraternities and basically just give them a big thank you for their efforts in we'll say their counter protesting,
Yes.
But that's just in the exploratory phase. So that may or may not happen. Who knows? But anyways, in closing, I just want to throw out one more comment and thought. A couple weeks ago, we talked about that movie Civil War, and I would tell you, this is the type of nonsense that can only fuel that type of scenario. I mean,
Well, they're just white people hating, America hating, spoiled brats who just need their ass kicked. And I hope that happens. Believe me, I hope they get their ass stomped on by somebody. And I'm sick to death of them. I want the public funding taken away from those schools. You got the University of Michigan, for instance, has got billions of dollars in endowments sitting in the bank, and all they do is fund anti-American shit with it. Get the
yeah,
hell out of this country if you don't want to live here. I know, and by the way, Hamas, who you love so much, well, they'll stone a woman to death for getting raped, and they'll throw gay people off roofs. So they really ought to know who the hell they're supporting.
yeah. I heard one person say, "Go to the Gaza Strip and wave an LGBTQ flag and see how long you live."
That's why
Uh,
these people just need their ass kicked.
well, when those Greek fraternities stood up to them, they sure backed down from those guys. You
Yeah,
know,
they're all about being tough until someone pushes back a little.
yeah. So that's all I got for this one. I don't think this is going to end anytime soon. It'll be interesting to see how this all plays out, and perhaps we can do a follow up in the aftermath of all this campus chaos, as I like to
Right.
call it.
It'll end when the safe space turns into no space.
Yeah, really
There's no
big
space
time.
for you in this country.
So that's all I got for this one. We'll call this one a wrap. And as always, be safe, watch your six, and don't tread on me.